Kyle, thank you so much for joining us on Around the World in 80 Drinks. Tell us about what it's like over there.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I think just like anywhere, we're kind of realizing what the new normal is, at least for the time being. We just opened about 2.5 weeks ago to about 3 weeks ago to outdoor, and just this past week we opened up for indoor. But obviously, max capacity rules and a whole lot of social distancing rules. But it's nice to actually have people back in the bar and hearing volume in here and just the little things that you took for granted. Now we're starting to get people in here, and there's like a vibe that you're kind of feeling again, which was really nice and missed.
Absolutely. I mean, I can feel the vibe from here,
Yeah,
thousands of
yeah.
miles away. It's so nice.
And usually, usually on a day like this, it's kind of our slow time, which is why we scheduled this. But here we are, and I think people are just eager to get in.
Yeah, no, well, we appreciate being able to see a live venue anyway.
Of course.
So what's it like? Is it quiet because of your social distancing? Are people willing to go out, or are they afraid to leave the house?
We found that people it's obviously not what it used to be, due to a lot of reasons. Our max capacity is one person for every 30 square foot, so that essentially cuts us down 50% on a normal night. But the main thing that really hurts us is we're still in a curfew, so we're working at a time where we have to close the bar at 8 p.m. right now, and really our bulk of business is 9 to 1 a.m. So while we're grateful, this is baby steps, and we understand that this is a necessary procedure to go little by little. Until we get back to that kind of curfew being lifted, we're just going to see this kind of minimal business as we go. But people are they definitely want to be out. There's no doubt that they want to get here. They want drinks. We had a great to-go bottled program going for a long time. We did a lot of to-go cocktails as well, and that was all new because we never did that before. But people were eager to come on Fridays, and we had a lockdown during the weekend as well, where you weren't allowed to go out of your house on weekends. So people were buying their cocktails in bulk on Fridays and keeping them over the weekend.
Amazing.
But now we're able to go out on weekends. So it's just each time a phase opens, we are having to adjust, just like everybody. It's a constant change as we go.
Yeah. And is there any scope or any news that another phase has come in and you might be able to open or change the way you're doing things now?
No, the Bahamas. They're opening to tourism July 1st, which,
Oh, wow.
to be quite honest, is quite scary for us.
Okay.
I don't quite understand it because we're at a point where we just got the okay to go to beaches on Monday. The very first day we were allowed to go to our own public beaches on Monday. We haven't lifted our curfew yet, which means even if tourists come in here, they have to. I like that. Even if tourists come in here, they have to be in their rooms by 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
So to me, I just feel like if we're not ready to open our curfew yet, then why are we allowing tourists in here? Especially with all the surges going on in our proximity to Florida, I'm
Right.
kind of like it's a little scary.
Yeah.
But July 1st is when we're allowing tourism in, and as far as the curfew goes, we're kind of being told it won't be until at least mid-July until that's lifted.
Okay, right. And actually, yeah, I'm glad you picked up on tourism because when we chatted before, you said you were heavily frequented by locals. It's not all tourists. It's quite a local bar.
Yeah, we're very lucky in the fact that I would say 90% of our business is the local market. We obviously have a tourism kind of aspect. We're in the Bahamas, so there's always going to be tourism here. But really, our bulk of our business is locals, and that really helps us in these kind of times, especially.
Yeah, okay, amazing. So what do you predominantly serve out there? I mean, is it a cocktail bar and, always serving cocktails, or is it wines and do you do food and that sort of thing?
Well, in the daytime, we serve as we kind of have that coffee cocktail hybrid here. We're actually open from, before we were open from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day. And the idea was in the daytime, it was, your really nice coffees and not the crazy mocha frappe latte, whatever kind of stuff, but like, your classic kind of stuff, made really well, local roasters, and all that kind of good stuff. But at nighttime, what we are is a cocktail bar. We're the Bahamas' first craft cocktail bar. Before us, there was only other kind of like, you get your Bahama Mamas and you get all that kind of stuff, or you could go to a mega resort like Atlantis or Baja Mar, and they have their hotel lobby kind of corporate bars, but we're the first kind of standalone craft cocktail bar. And we opened almost exactly a year ago.
Okay, amazing. So while we're talking about cocktails, do you wanna say who's making a drink and what's
Absolutely,
going on?
yeah. So I have Nico. Nico's here. He's my general manager. He's going to make us a Zephyr. The Zephyr is one of our most popular cocktails. It's. I'll let him explain a little bit, but it's kind of a twist on the Spanish gin and tonic that we'll actually serve in a couple of different variations. But I'm going to pass it over to him now to make that. Okay.
Perfect. Nico. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Don.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, man? Today we are making a Zephyr. Usually comes in two variations. One would be traditional Spanish, and the other would be the spin-off, which would be like a French Zephyr, which will include Saint Germain, elderflower. But today, just because I love elderflower, we're going to do French. Right here is our box bottle. At least we have a box bottle system where we batch our cocktails pre-made, so they're a lot easier to make when in a rush or when we're busy. And this one will have Ford's gin and Saint Germain liqueur.
So all of our batch, we have over 28 batch bottles. In the batch bottles, we don't use any of the citrus or vermouth, anything that would go off or perishable, obviously, just like in most places. But we have a batch program of over 28 cocktails that are pre-batched.
Oh, wow.
All right, now, my favorite thing about the Spanish style gin and tonics is their garnishes and the aromatic notes they get. And because of that, we get to play with a lot of fun ingredients, like this dehydrated orange. That in there. Also some juniper berries. Now we're going to add lime juice. Top it off with Mediterranean tonic. Then like to float with a bit of grapefruit juice. After that, you get into the beauty of the Spanish gin and tonic, which is, I know usually they use like thyme and rosemary, but flowers, edible flowers are pretty good.
Locally grown edible flowers.
Amazing.
We have some great farmers here that do some really beautiful stuff.
Get that in there. Wow. Final garnish, a sprig of rosemary. Then we torch it. Oh God. Smells good.
I think I can just about smell that from here.
So that is our Zephyr.
Amazing.
That's a French Zephyr. It's, you get a lot of aromatics from all the different items in it. Dehydrated fruit, the juniper berries, especially the burnt rosemary. And the presentation is always a crowd pleaser. It's kind of what we call the Applebee's fajitas, or the Chili's fajitas. You know, when they come out and they have that sizzling plate, everybody wants one when they see it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's our French Zephyr. And again, we have a Spanish style Zephyr too that's made with liquor 43.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, picking up on the statement you said earlier, with you being the first craft cocktail bar, you've recently been shortlisted or even won an award. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we it was crazy. So I'm plugging my computer in. We in the middle of the pandemic, I didn't know that we were going to be part of the Tails process. And a buddy of mine who opened up his own bar in Tulum, who I actually began bartending with in New York City when I was there at Spice Market, he wrote me and said, "Hey, congratulations on your Tails nod." And this is the middle of lockdown, pandemic, and whatever it was, April. And I wrote him back. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "You and I got a nomination." I go, "Get the F out of here." And I was like, "Send me the link." I don't believe you till you send me the link. So he sent me the link, and we saw it. And we were shortlisted for top 10 regional international new cocktail bar. And we were actually the only one in the Caribbean to be listed. The rest were in, I think, South America, Mexico, and stuff. So that was really, really quite nice, especially considering we were open for 8 months. Only 8 months that we got that nod. So it was a really good feeling for all the work that these guys put in and we put in. It was crazy.
Yeah, but and actually talking about all the work that you put in, I mean, it must take a lot to train a team that's, you know, that knows what they're doing and can be left to it. You know, what sort of things do you put in place to train them up?
Well, so because of the cocktail culture in the Bahamas, there really is not a cocktail culture in the Bahamas. And that was one of the things when I first moved here from New York that I was really itching to build. And every single bartender that we had, we started from scratch. I mean, we started like, you know, what goes into gin? Like, how is gin made? Like, we took 3 months of being closed, and I wouldn't say military style training, but it was like drilling and testing and everything like that, because our goal all along was to be of the top, like not just the best bar in the Bahamas, but the best bar in the Caribbean, like around. And it took having that skill and knowledge to be there. Because if you walk into a bar and you have a bartender who, yeah, they can make you an old fashioned, but if they don't know how, you know, bourbon's made and why this is with this, then it's not the same experience. So we really took the time, 3 months to train and taste things and understand, and it was every day, and it was really fun. But, you know, now to see where they're at, it's so incredible, because honestly, I would put them up against any bartender on this island. Any single one of our guys, I would put them up against any bartender. And it's really, really fun, because you could see the moment that all of them kind of caught the bug of, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is fun. Like, I love doing this. And I remember my first time being like, oh, this is fun to do. And you could just see it in their eyes now. It's just like, they miss it. They miss not being able to be here and be part of it. So it was a very hard training process, and even for me, it was pretty stressful. And I was like, "What am I doing?" But in the end, we got there, and I'll tell you what, it's been a lot of fun for all of us.
Yeah, well worth it, I'm sure. And don't your bartenders walk around the island and get recognised and get selfies and that sort of thing?
We have quite a strong following on Instagram and stuff like that, and they are literally somewhat of local celebrities now, where they walk around and they're like, I know you from Bon Vivants, or you know, it's kind of funny to hear that. Like, they tell me the stories of, they'll go out to other bars and the other bartenders will say, hey, you're that guy from blah blah blah, or I seen you on the photo, and it's pretty cool that they're able to get recognized for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is incredible. And also, I know you've got a little secret door in the background. We can't see it now, but I'll direct people to your Facebook and that sort of thing.
I'll take you through.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So, just a quick note, I'll kind of show you the bar. Just a quick note that, Will and I, we own Bon Vivant, but we also have a wine distribution company. That's our main business in the beginning for the last 8 years, have been distributing wine and craft spirits throughout the Bahamas. So we actually have, if you can see, looks like a normal bookshelf over there. So we actually have, during normal hours, nighttime we keep it closed, but this is your little James Bond door. And we open up into our actual wine store.
That's
So,
absolutely awesome. I love
That's all of
that.
our liquor and spirits. This is our we call her Brigitte, 1928 Austin 7 van, and then our wine store. This is Nay. Hi Nay.
Hi.
So then and then this is kind of the bookshelf that you pass through, go back through this way. Hello guys. And then this is back in the Bon Vivant.
Absolutely love it. I absolutely love that. Look, I mean, Kyle, the last 15 minutes has absolutely flown. I could chat to you for hours
very
about
good.
that place. And it's certainly on the bucket list to come and say hello and come and get a drink.
Absolutely. Well, whenever you guys come down, obviously the borders are open up July 1st, so come on down. Maybe give it a month, but get your swab and come on down.
Awesome. Listen, Kyle, thanks a lot for coming on.
Of course.
Everybody, Kyle.
Thanks, Dan.